Let's first of all start with talking about how and why we create quality and effective content. And creating content is kind of the core or the catalyst of communicating with people through the social networks. How do you create content that gets noticed? One way is names, names, names. When you put content together, you're going to load some information into your online library, your blog, your Facebook page. Include people's names. Link those names to their Facebook, their Twitter, their LinkedIn accounts. People want to be connected, and when they learn that their name is associated with a piece of content that you have created or put out there, they all of a sudden become associated with you and your cause. So if using names gets noticed, how do you keep the audience engaged? Those of you who have joined us in the past will learn free, valuable information is the key word for the stuff that we're trying to create. So effective and quality content really constitutes free, valuable information. We're not trying to sell anything. We're just trying to provide information that is free and that really presents a value to our listeners or our viewers. When delivering content in the social arena, what is the most effective way to get through? I'll answer that question here.
Confucius once said, I see and I forget. I hear and I remember. I do and I understand. To adopt this simple format in delivering content to the social networking world, video is your most effective tool. We're actually asking the viewer to engage both visibly and audibly. And this causes them to do something which helps them to understand.
So now you see how effective video is as compared to text or graphics or a picture. It engages more senses and it causes you to understand strongly. Are there stats to back up that theory? Absolutely. There's a very interesting diagram here. A gentleman by the name of Edgar Dale in 1969 came up with this theory, and it's held true forever. And you'll notice that 10% of what we read, we remember, 20% of what we hear, 30% of what we see, but 50% of what we hear and see. So using video really engages hearing and seeing and increases what it is we remember or what it is we understand substantially. So in the social arena, using video is your most effective way to get a message across. What do our friends or our fans or our contacts or our followers value from us online? The content that we're creating, what are they looking for from us? They're looking for shortcuts, hints, secrets, statistics. They like lots of choices. We as humans like lots of information and lots of choices. However, too many choices many times will cause you to not be able to make a decision. And so it's always good in your content to offer up these statistics and these secrets and hints and such, but to also close that content with a suggestion. Direct your reader or your viewer to a specific answer or a specific suggestion. So what's the ultimate advantage to all of this content delivery? We're creating this free, valuable information. We're using video to do a lot of it. What's the ultimate benefit? People join these online groups. People join Facebook. They come over to your business page and they connect or they like your business page because they have something in common with you. And that commonality builds trust, or it has a trust element built into it. And trust leads us to social decision making. And what do I mean by that? More and more, those of you who are using Facebook, you've probably seen this already in Facebook or in Twitter. If you have a question, you begin to ask your friends who are affiliated with you through these online groups. And statistics say that 78% of purchasers are made by recommendations from a friend. So it is important as a business that you become influential, that your influence is important out there in the social world, because you want to position yourself as an expert in your product or your service. Again, that reflects back to the free, valuable information that you're creating and you're delivering. You're delivering that from a position of being an expert, and it's your influence that causes you to become that expert and ultimately influences the decision of those buyers. So is telling everyone what you know the answer? No, it's not. That's part of the answer, but you need to listen, and this is a critical part of creating content. When you listen, you're going to hear what other people have to say, and you're going to learn from what those people are saying, whether they like or dislike your thoughts, your opinions, whether they're looking for your product or looking for something different, and it's going to enable you to respond to their comments, which ultimately builds trust, because the responses that you give are responding to the thoughts or the information that these people are putting out in their conversation. And that trust is what actually builds your reputation. You're not just spouting information about what you do know, but you're listening to what they want, and you're responding to what they want, and that builds your reputation. Your reputation is ultimately what is going to influence people, and ultimately you're trying to get people to influence, or you're trying to influence people to act, and hopefully get them to act on your behalf to buy your product or your service.